Silver Age comics were written for children. DC produced industry-changing stories in the 80s, where the publisher embraced mature storytelling with books like Watchmen and Dark Knight Returns, something comics desperately needed. Comics are a fruitful medium, but reading Silver Age stories will reveal why it's so important to bring mature storytelling into the medium. Silver Age comics were written for children. Their simple morality plays where the bad guys always lost and the status quo was upheld. At best, Marvel wrote for teenagers, but with many of the simplistic tropes that drove DC, anyone expecting anything better than kids' stories is in for a rude awakening. Anybody?
Man, writing stories for children is so toxic.
It's so bad.
Oh, how toxic of those people writing children's stories.
This is something, yeah, this is something that's in the, okay, well, they're saying it's hard to revisit, but, okay, you know what? I'm not going to lie and say there aren't simplistic stories in the Silver Age. It's part of what makes them fun, and the fact that a lot of them are one-off. You read the book, you get the story, and you don't have to buy 4 different books or anything like that. I'm not going to lie and say that there aren't any that are like that. I mean, for freaking hell, in order to make Batman more palatable to the comics code, they had him go out in space. But
why wasn't Casper? Casper should have been for adults.
Right. But they were written with children in mind, I think, more than just being written for children. Eric?
Okay, I'm going to make a quick analogy. Phineas and Ferb, it is a children's cartoon. Any adult that watches that will laugh out loud at least once in every episode. Why? Because though it is written for children, it is written in a way that all ages, whether you're 2 to 92, can enjoy it. These old comics that this guy is trashing can still be read and enjoyed by adults with a functioning brain, because even though they are written for children, the stories that are told, it's like the old Peanuts cartoon. Kids and adults might laugh at the same cartoon or the same comic strip, but for different reasons because of the way it was written. There were things that adults would get that would go over the children's heads.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying that was the case in all these Silver Age comics, but the ideas and the ideals that were put forth in these books resonate with all ages. That's why those are still read today, dumbass that wrote this article. And that's why the stuff that you're championing is as disposable as produce.
Yeah, I would defy anyone to, without looking it up, tell me what happened and say, what was it, War of Asgard or something that happened, War of the Realms, 3 years ago. There was a huge universe-changing event in Marvel Comics. What happened?
No.
It had Asgardians in it.
All right, here's one. Here's one. There was a Marvel crossover, a huge Marvel crossover that changed the Marvel universe. What am I talking about?
Hey, I know. We'll take Guardians of the Galaxy, put as in front of it, and say, look how clever we are.
Yeah. This is the storytelling that is leaps and bounds over the freaking Silver Age.
Yeah, I need to read War of the Realms, but isn't that when they introduced Thor's mom?
You don't need to read.
No, you don't need to read War of the Realms.
Yeah. I wasn't planning on to, but I'm just saying, even if I wanted to read it, most stories are forgettable. I'll go back and I read stuff from like there's only a few that from post-crisis Superman that I remember actually stories, but they were written better though. I'll say that though, because I am like Eric when it comes to this. I'm like 10-second Tom, but when it comes to, but there's certain stories I really love. I'll remember, but. So I can't really say that they're forgettable just because of that bad. I think the ones that are that bad are the ones you can't forget.
Well, here's the thing: there's a different kind of forgetting. Like when Eric will say, or I'll say, I remember reading it and I remember the feeling I got rather than the story itself.
Yeah.
And you're starting to notice it as you read more and more comics. Some of them are being dropped out of the memory hole because,
I hate it.
Yeah. It happens. I think we actually discovered, Eric and I started reading comics around the same time. It's just I was 4 and he was 70. What? Point being, ladies and gentlemen, it's a long time with a lot of
You're
books.
making an age joke.
I can do that in this situation.
Falcon
But
and the Snowman.
yeah, it goes. But I don't know. Obviously the Silver Age comics, while written for, I will say, yeah, they were written with kids in mind. But the themes, as Eric was saying, the themes and the stories were done with adults in mind as well. So both could read it, both could enjoy it. If he thinks children's stories in the Silver Age were simplistic and poorly written compared to today, he clearly has not read I Am Not Starfire. Let's see. Cartoons is saying it's that guy's such a moron that he can't appreciate nothing but the some deconstruction by a commie loser who didn't write nothing good since the 80s, Alan Moore. Holy Toledo. Smacking Alan Moore. Wow.
Shots fired.
I mean, Alan Moore is better than Frank Miller, but...
Wow, double shots fired.
This is where I at least have to throw in. At one point, Alan Moore apologized for what he said, destroying comics by what he did in his earlier career, because so many people, I guess, tried to become him and couldn't. But he also spent a good chunk of the late 90s, his Supreme run, which was a love letter to the Silver Age.
Yeah.
Tom Strong,
The
Prometheus, books
1960s.
like that were definitely more straight ahead science fiction superhero stuff that didn't try to destroy it. It was just basically him trying to atone, I guess, for lack of a better term. And I think he did a lot of really good stuff in those days.
So people copying the Dark Knight Returns and Frank Miller's Daredevil stuff.
Mhm.
That was, to me, when I was reading Spider-Man by Todd McFarlane. Like, he was trying to go the darker routes, And for those first 5 issues, and it was just like, Spider-Man being drugged by this voodoo witch, and be attacked by the lizard, and just like, here's my quippy Spider-Man. Why is he getting his ass kicked for 5 straight issues? It's so dark. And Mary Jane hasn't seen him in 4 issues, and did they forget this isn't like a torture porn comic book? This is supposed to be Spider-Man, quippy, annoying, fun.
Modern readers. Okay, let me get some more. Let's see.
Don't I get to comment?
No.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to say, like, I take umbrage with this whole Watchmen and the Dark Knight Returns, and it's like they cherry picked the 2 like greatest comic books like probably ever written by many people's estimation, and be like, look, it's and it's like, it wasn't because those comics were dark that made them good. It was because they were so good that the industry embraced the darkness. They're putting the cart before the horse. Like, again, it's one of those things you can't go, well, look, see, the Silver Age was bad because look at how good Watchmen was. And it's like, yeah, Watchmen was great, but you can also write greatness in different ways. Like, there's tons of dark garbage. Look on the comic book shelf Wednesday. Again, it's one of those arguments that just doesn't make any sense. And so, and look, I like the sophisticated storytelling. I don't really enjoy the Silver Age, but I don't malign the Silver Age just because it's not my cup of tea. I look and go, there are plenty of things out there that are worthy, just because it's not my flavor. And I don't think that this person that's writing this article has any sort of sense like that. Like, whoever called them a narcissist got it right. I think they just like, everything must be around me, and anything that's not is terrible.
All right, let me get the rest of the comments, and then we'll move on to number 4. One Slick is saying, if they were written for children, then why did Stan Lee say that they use college-level English? And Morani is answering it by saying Stan Lee used college-level English because he wanted to get kids to read better. And shocking concept, use a dictionary if they couldn't understand the words by context. Remember when Superman and Batman each had a son and they both roamed around in a van and a motorcycle? I do not.
Yeah, you do. That was Bob Haney's Super Sons and World's Finest.
Oh, I remember. Okay, yes, you're right. I do remember reading them. I do not remember when they were first out. I wasn't old enough.
Fuck you.
There you go, guys. What'd you think of this particular conversation and the subject? How do you feel about the writing of the Silver Age? Is it better Is it worse than modern day? I think there's kind of a mix of the two. Yeah, I like the fact that we're tackling themes that were not allowed to be done back in the Silver Age. I think there's a sense of fun in the Silver Age that modern day comics have lost. Definitely you could see a decline throughout the years, as a matter of fact, to the point where now the message is a hell of a lot more important than the story itself. But that's just my opinion. What is yours? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to click like, share, subscribe, ring the notification bell if you haven't done it already, and share the video. Share, 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 share. And if you don't mind helping out the channel another way, go on over to Ko-Fi. I've actually opened up commissions again as well. And drop $1 in the till or get a commission. And I'd like to thank everybody who's already done that. And to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.